15 minutes. You'll need to get on with this. 8th place. Alright, Nick, be ready. Go!
Hello everyone. Thought I'd try something new here with a voiceover. I found it pretty hard to live commentate with the VR headset on.
Right side. Still there.
So decent start. We qualified 8th.
Hold your line. Clear right.
I really am not a big fan of this track, so I didn't really want to practice that much. But what I did practice was good enough. The race was actually still really good. Kind of a mediocre middle of the race, but the ending makes it all worth it, at least for me. So yeah, I'm gonna see how this turns out. If you guys end up liking live commentary a bit more, or the voiceover commentary, let me know. I'd be open to doing whichever one. And also, if you really like the VR, I could do that for the GT3 series as well, because I really enjoyed this race in VR. So
7th position.
Here we are. First lap, managed to get out unscathed at the beginning. Made sure to give everybody ample amount of space, and everything was alright. Just gotta make sure you don't get punted. Thought I'd try something new with no virtual mirror, and I learned to regret it pretty quick. Really had no idea what was going on behind me. Get quick glances here and there with the rear view or the side mirrors there, but it was really hard to see what was going on. So I'll be turning on the virtual mirror back on. I was just kind of testing it out and make it as immersive as possible, but I think it's one of those the view in those mirrors just doesn't do it in the game. Like, I'm sure they're fine in real life, but it doesn't work for me. Maybe I'm just spoiled with the virtual mirror, how big it is, and you can adjust the FOV, but I think it does a better job.
P5, sector
So
1 is 0.2
I have no idea what
off the
happened there,
pace.
but
Sector 2
we
is
somehow moved
0.5
up
off
to
the pace.
5th
Sector 3
place.
is 0.3 off the pace.
So that means two guys must have taken each other out. We see somebody in 5th place in the pit there, which would mean we're in 5th. So two people must have taken each other out or something. I don't know where we passed those two people. So we're managing to get a little bit of some space behind. You'll see me glance down at the relative every once in a while, just because I have no idea where he is really. And I just want to make sure I don't get punted into oblivion, because I'm not the most familiar with this track. So doing our best trying to follow P4 here.
Fastest lap for Pinto, 1:00.8.
The interesting part about this track is if you miss your lines just barely,
Your lap
you
time
lose so
was
much. Like that guy, he broke
102.2.
just a little bit too late. You end up going off track, and it's hard to recover quickly.
Well done, Nick.
You're just
Great move.
instantly,
Keep it up.
seconds behind. Now, I tend to do better when I follow people, so now I'm in no man's land with two people within seconds behind of me, so you'll start seeing me doing a few mistakes here and there. This was my first race for like in a long while using the VR as well, so it was dizzying, especially on this track with all the corners, 180-degree corners pretty much. It was tough. I'm glad I only did 15 minutes, because any longer I probably wouldn't manage.
New fastest lap for Pinto, 1:00.4 seconds.
I know at this point I'm already like, okay, please, like, let there only be a couple laps left.
P4, you're pulling away. The gap behind is now 1.6 seconds. Good lap. That's your quickest so far.
So I guess my quickest lap was the one where there's no one in front of me. I know things kind of start going horribly wrong at some point around here. I just start making silly mistakes. Now it's interesting. I don't know why I look up like that when I turn right. I don't know. I just need better head control or something. Like I'm searching for the apex really when I'm driving, but that seems
Okay, Nick,
a little bit
10 minutes
too
to go.
far.
That's 10 minutes left. Keep digging.
The guy in first place, he's just hauling ass. He's already got a 10-second
Fastest lap
gap on
for
us.
Pinto, 1:00.3
Like almost
seconds.
4-second gap on P2 and 3. So at this point, really, I'm not catching P2 or 3, so I just gotta try and finish 4th.
Good lap. That's your best in the session.
Especially strength of field is relatively low, because surprisingly, I don't know why, but participation is really low in this series. I would have thought with the new cars, you know, the Elantra and the Honda coming out last season, and then the Veloster coming out this season, that participation would have gone up a bit, but maybe people didn't want to buy the track. I don't blame them. For some reason, this track is going to be used for the GT3s as well this season. I don't see it. I really hope for the endurance they lessen the amount of cars that are allowed, because if you have 50 or so odd cars on this track, it's going to be too much. You're going to have the leaders on the tail end of the back markers instantly within a few laps, because you put a second gap on everybody and you've already done the full track. So I don't like that they need to, or they feel the need to force the new tracks on onto a series that it just doesn't fit. Like Knock Hill, for example, last season. Like, I don't know, I felt like Knock Hill was a bit better than this track for the GT3s, but it still wasn't good. I haven't tried this track on the GT3s yet, but from what I've seen with the TCR, it already seems kind of small. Like, it feels like a go-kart track. And the pit as well is super tiny. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the GT3s. Because I know IMSA did Knock Hill, and I imagine they're doing this track here. There's the mistake I was talking about.
Right side.
So there's P.
Still there.
Yeah, so P5
Clear
passes
right.
me there.
We're halfway home. Fuel looks okay. Okay, stay with him. Okay, Nick, your lap times are pretty consistent.
I just love the Veloster. Oh, I was upset with myself too. I had such an exciting finish on this race that I ended up exiting out without saving the replay. I would have loved to do the outside views and stuff, but I guess we're stuck in just VR view. With you guys wondering where the hell I'm looking at, I'm sure. So, it's kind of awkward following this guy because he has way different lines than me.
That's a new fastest
And at
lap
this
for
point,
Pinto, 1:00.2
I have in my head that maybe
seconds.
he's got the right lines, so I start trying to adjust to follow him a bit better. And you'll see, you know, I take some corners better than him. He takes corners way better than me, and he
P5.
eventually starts pulling away a little bit, but I do manage to follow him a little bit. For now I'm thinking, you know, try and stay close, keep it interesting. Worst case scenario, I finish P5. Best case, I finish P4 at this point. But I did not realize that P6 was actually coming up real quick behind me. Hence the no mirror problem here. I don't really see him too well. You know, I see a flash of purple every once in a while, but I assume he's very far away.
Left side.
Yeah, especially in this corner
Clear
here, I
left.
see he
Car
goes wide.
Clear left.
I try and
Okay,
keep it
Nick,
tight
keep piling on
on
the
the,
pressure. He'll
on the
make a
curb
mistake.
there. So I'm probably planning on trying to do a later apex to try and pass him on the straight. But I also think he's not taking his natural line because I'm sticking my nose in there. No, I'm not even sure. Okay, yeah, there's about 5 minutes left in the race. So 5 to 6-ish laps. Yeah, there's 5 laps left. And he's starting to pull away, so right now I'm pretty upset myself, like, oh, I should have practiced more or whatever.
That's 5 minutes to go, 5 minutes.
I'm excited for the series because on better tracks it's going to be a lot of fun once I get more used to the car. It's going to make for some real good racing. I feel like I'm still trying to drive it like a GT3 when you can rip this thing through corners a lot better than the GT3 cars.
You've just done a 101.6.
I really hope participation does go up though, because having only one split, which means we're in the top split every time, but having only one split does kind of, I don't know, I feel like it spreads out the field too much. Because you have, you know, people lower iRating and they just can't compete, and I feel bad for them. I mean, hopefully they don't get discouraged and they stick to it. But I could see, you know, finishing in the bottom half of the results being discouraging a little bit, especially if you invested all the money in the cars and the tracks for the series. Hopefully next week we'll see, you know, a couple extra splits. I did see that I think the early afternoon races did have a couple splits, so I imagine the series is more popular for the Europeans and the
P5.
and, you know, out east. But the series does make for some real good racing. I feel like it's very similar to the Mazdas in some sense for the racing, but you're just in quicker, peppier cars, which makes it a natural progression from the Mazdas. Obviously, you just go from rookie to TCR if you want. I do much prefer them over the Mazdas personally.
The gap in front is increasing. It's now 0.9.
So here I'm starting to lose them, losing hope. Gonna settle for P5 at this point. Getting real dizzy as well. VR is not kind to you when you're not used to it. It definitely takes a good couple hours of sessions to get used to it. Still glancing down, look at my relative, and I notice,
Harry is gaining on you. The gap's now 1.1.
just like Jim's saying there, Harry is,
2
and
minutes
he's
to go.
off.
2 minutes.
I don't know what happened there.
On
He
your
must
left,
have clipped
clear
the gas
left.
or something and wasn't able to brake in time. So now I got 2 guys behind me that are relatively close. And I've got to defend for... Yeah, I'm glancing down to the relative there to see how far they are. I'm like hoping they battle with each other, but they're catching up to me faster than anything really. So I'm gonna have to defend for a couple extra laps. We didn't get the white flag here. I'm still upset that I missed in saving the replay.
P4. Your lap time was
This
at
would have made for some great
102.1.
angles here, this battle. So I don't have much experience battling. I usually let people by because I'm on the slower side of things when it comes to iRacing. So I'm just trying to be good here, keep it on the track. I'm extremely nervous. And yeah, that was a really bad exit. I can hear him on my right side or behind me, and it's stressing me out. The nerves are definitely getting to me. And I know he's quicker than me as well, so it's very worrisome. Glancing down to relative, going like, oh fuck, he's got me here. He decides to not try and pass me on this corner, I don't think. I see the white flag get waved, I'm happy, because I had no idea what the time was at this point. I just thought this race was taking forever, because I'm trying to get a good finish.
On your right.
So yeah, he's trying to pass me here.
Hold your line.
I didn't just let him go by, I decided to fight it a little
Hold
bit.
your line. Still there.
So yeah, we're side by side here. He's got a little bit of lead for me, but
Hold your line.
I've got the advantage going into this corner.
Still there.
So he actually
Hold
let me
your
go
line.
through here.
Clear right.
And
Okay,
I
Nick,
quickly
you've
turn
used
and
half
take
your
the
fuel.
inside.
Car right. Clear right.
So he tried to sneak it up on the inside even though I already had it. And I'm just trying to keep my line here, taking the inside.
On your right. Clear right.
I think that's the thing with the hairpins as well. So I'm trying to take a look, see where he's at. He's not in a
Jones
position to
is
pass
now
me
leading.
here, so I can take my usual route.
Right side. Clear right.
He's just sticking his nose in where he can, and there we have it. Managed to save fourth
On your
place.
right. Clear
Definitely
right.
would have lost it if we had a couple
P4.
extra
Okay, that's the end. Good
laps.
finish, mate. Well done.
But no, that was a good race. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.